Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome along to Prospects eRacing League. We are here for the Tier 3 pre-season race that is being held at the absolutely fantastic Silverstone circuit here in the UK. My name's T Mouse. It's a pleasure to be alongside you this evening, and I'm going to be taking you through the 26 or 27 laps we have ahead of us. We're here for a short qualifying session. That is going to be 18 quick minutes of drivers out on track today. We've got 17 fantastic drivers all here trying to prove their worth. And they will be trying to get one of those top spots. Looks like we have had HDE Baguette already retiring in qualifying. I wonder if she's wanting to start from the back from this session here. Might be a fair shout, you know, get yourself a nice run into turn one. But we'll stick on board here with voice of Chris 85. He appears to be the first one out on track at the moment. So he'll be the first one here, setting a hot lap in the beautiful Scarlet Red Ferrari. As I mentioned earlier, this track is well known for its historic Grand Prix. This track being the layout since 2010 and coming up for the past 12 years or so. Here we go then. We'll stay on board with Chris as we go for a first hot lap. It's going to be nice and flat out almost into turn one, laying off a little bit. Oh, he loses the back end there. That's unfortunate for himself. That'll be a little knock to the confidence there. But I'm sure he'll get himself back up into the reins. We've got Tilmo, who's going to be next on the lap here. We'll hopefully try and keep on board with someone doing a vague hot lap. Looks like Tilmo might have backed out a little bit. I'm not quite sure there. Or he's just have a little knock to the confidence. We got some comments coming in. How are we doing, everybody? It's a pleasure to have you here as well. Bevo's got Page pegged for a podium. Never know. You'd never know indeed. We'll stick on board with Tilmo here. He's coming round towards the old pit straight. Absolutely beautiful. Coming down towards Cops as Max and Lewis well knew their collision back in last year's Grand Prix. Tilmo's taken that really well as he comes into Maggots and Beckett's here. You want to be nice and smooth on the power, especially if you're running at lower traction control, as Patty Pat will sure remind me that I don't. But we'll be continuing down the back run, which I believe was the old airfield landing runway. I might be wrong on that. We've also had Splandy retired. Looks like he's crashed coming through Cops, which is actually quite unfortunate for himself. But that is the way the cookie crumbles. Here we go then. Tilmo coming around the final two turns. There we go then. Across the line, a 1:30.2. A respectable lap time, but definitely one that the other remaining 15 drivers will be looking to beat. I have got the chat absolutely roasting me, and that is what we love about this league. T De Silva goes fastest with a 1:29.4. That is a respectable lap time, but there'll definitely be some drivers who will be wanting to put that to shame. Who have we got next? Looks like McLaren coming down that back straight. See if we can find who that is. It will be the car of Mark 7 God. Comes round towards Village, just past the pit entrance there. He's got 2-3 more turns to do, and it looks like he's on for a fairly decent lap time. Yes, I did just admit on stream that I'm a full traction merchant. Where's T Mouse from? I am from the south of the UK. There we go then. Mark 7 got on for a good time. He's on a 1:29.2. That's a good lap time, and definitely one that will see him through to the top 10, but probably not one that we will see on pole this evening. Some other notable mentions for the qualifying. We've got Villeneuve up into third place with a 29.7, and Don Moore putting that second McLaren up in a 1:30.9. Looks like he might be going for a second lap there. Panda Man Gaming just starting a hot lap here. Still rocking the blue and yellow helmet in support of Ukraine. That is some fantastic stuff to see. He's on the medium tyre. That is quite an interesting thing to see. Wondering if he's wanting to go long in that first stint. As we all are aware, we've got a load of new drivers and a load of returning drivers. I'll say that as T De Silva goes fastest, 28.7. There we go, he's gone 5/10, nearly half a second quicker than second place at the moment. as I was saying, we've got a load of new and a load of returning drivers. We'll definitely recognise some famous names up there. I know the chat are a big fan of Morny that we are on board with now. Got a bit of traffic up ahead of him here. Hopefully they'll notice him behind and get out of the way, not to ruin Morny's hot lap. It looks like Mark 7 God's just moving out of the way. But Donwall's going to sit right on that apex, going a little bit slowly. Finally gets out of the way, and I hope that hasn't impeded Morny's lap too much. Comes across the line, 29.8, that is a respectable time, but he will definitely want to go faster than that. Chaos Druid goes up into second place, as Light Sesso goes 4/10 fastest to go provisional pole here with a 1:28.3. We'll jump back down the field here, see who's lowest and doing a lap at the moment. We'll hop back on board with Panda Man. It looks like he might have invalidated that first lap as he goes for a second running here. That beautiful, beautiful Red Bull in the sunny British sunshine. You cannot beat it. Had a little bit of a wiggle there out of turn 5, I believe that is, but he's going to get the power down on the straight. Beautiful bit of action as we see him come up the long straight into the heavy, heavy braking zone. Sharp left turn. Keeps it nice and clean within the confines there, tight to the apexes, and he comes back down. We've got someone who looks like they've just binned it. Let's see if I can find who that is. That will be Artistic Genius spinning off there at turn 1. Quite easy to lose the back end there, especially at a turn 1 if you're running a lower downforce setup for this Grand Prix. Chat is popping off indeed. It is lovely to have you all alongside me as we see this tier 3 race. Hopping back on board with Panda Man, he comes down that long straight. I think that yellow flag might just be Artistic getting back on the track. But Panda coming down here, he's only got about 3 turns left after this one. Keeps it very, very nice and clean as he comes through that turn there. He's got a left turn, nice clean, avoiding those sausage curbs because they can quite easily throw you around. He's going to come across the line here on the medium tyre. He's going to go second for a 1:28.4. Fantastic result, or fantastic qualifying so far from Panda Man on the medium tyre. Tilmo's just pulling over. Lovely bit of respect there for the drivers. Just letting each other through on a hot lap. We'll hop on board here with Guitar Man. I saw his name pop up in the chat. So we'll hop on board here as he comes round on what looks to be his first flying lap. He's going to do a low 1:28. There we go. He goes provisional pole with a 1:28 flat. That's a fantastic lap time, and one that he will most certainly be proud of. I reckon he's got a little bit more in it as well. So we might be seeing some drivers get into the low one, or the high 1:27s here, shall I say, as we progress through this qualifying session. We've got an addition to our driver lineup for this evening. We've got Kevu in the Haas. He's come and joined us through qualifying, but unfortunately won't be setting a lap time. But it's great to have more and more drivers on the grid. Going to hop on board here with Gazmopam as he comes into the second sector and just invalidates. That is unfortunate in itself. Have we got anyone on a flying lap? We got Artistic. He seems to be kind of just chilling out the way. He's quite happy. Oh, just be careful to let PBE through there. Who's going to be wanting... He's also going for the medium tyre. I wonder if there's something these drivers know that I definitely don't. Comes across the line to start another flying lap. Let's see if we can watch him keep it within the confines of the track limits. As we all know this season, the FIA are going to be a lot more strict when it comes to track limits. And potentially with more penalties being dished out this season compared to last. Speaking of the F1 game, if you're interested in F1 22, that will be coming out probably July this year. Tune in to the F1 game YouTube channel tomorrow at 4 o'clock UK time. Apparently all the details are being revealed there live. So if you're interested in the game and want to check out what's going to come next year, I'd definitely tune into that one. But while you're here, I'm going to do a shameless plug and say, why not subscribe and like the video? If you want to see me doing comms more, like the video. Why not? It can't hurt. Anyway, just caught Gazprom taking a little bit of a spin there, and Voice of Chris doing exactly the same thing behind him on his outlap. 2 very, very expensive lawnmowers there, as Valtteri Bottas would say. Got a Haas by the look of it, coming up. Oh no, that's the Alfa Romeo coming behind him. That will probably be K. Oh, who's that? That'll be. I don't know who that was. Not many drivers out on a hot lap at the moment. Ah, that driver there would have been McBurgen. Sorry, that is a new name to me, so sorry if I've absolutely destroyed your name there. But hopefully we'll see some of the new drivers setting some decent lap times here. All of them being quite precautious, warming up their tyres. Ooh, bit of a collision there between the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull there. Gazmore Pam just having a bit of a contact, bit of a Latifi and a Stroll moment there. If any of you watched the Grand Prix last weekend, we got the race engineer for the Alpines here. Hello. I'm not going to give too much inside information out. I'll just be commentating on what will be happening. Good to see you though. So we got Light Sesso. He's definitely going to be wanting to beat Guitar Man Khan's time. He's got about nearly 4 tenths to make up here if he wants to get anywhere close. So we'll see where he is as he comes through Sector 2 here. He's got to keep it clean down the old pit straight as he comes toward the cops. Wants to be nice and wide on the entry and just power through it. There we go, we saw just a little lift from Sesso there. But that will do well just to keep him within the confines of the track. We got a yellow flag further on through Maggots and Beckett's. But we're going to be sticking on board with Sesso here, who makes Maggots and Beckett's look absolutely easy as he flies through there. Running up, down the back straight. He's got one car to contend with. That is an Al Williams just cutting some grass. But nothing to be too concerned about. Oh, Sesso takes a bit of a wobble and invalidates. That's going to annoy him and frustrate him. I wonder if he's got enough fuel to go for a second lap. And it looks like he doesn't. He's going to bail into the pits there. We'll jump a little bit further down the order, see who we've got coming across the line fairly soon. Looks like we might have a Red Bull. That is a Panda Man on his outlap. Who have we got on a hot lap here then? Looks like we got Maundy. Once again, a fan favourite who's going to be on a hot lap here. Just give him a watch as he heads down that nice middle long straight, one of the DRS zones. Just getting heavy, braking zone to the left. You've got to keep it nice and tight into that left hand side. Tight to the right hand side. It's very easy to flick and lose the back end again. But nice and beautiful through there. Onto the old pit straight. Coming down there. No DRS on that zone. Most people would have liked to see it, but never know. So, and he invalidates coming out through cops. That is unfortunate. Villeneuve retires. I wonder if that's in the pits. Wonder if he doesn't feel like he can improve. We'll have a look at the fastest tyre. Not the fastest tyre. See what tyre everybody's on, shall we? So there we go. Currently, Panda Man is sitting quite happily in fourth on the medium tyre. He's the only driver in the top 10 to be doing so. But here he is. He is out on a hot lap on the softs. We will stick on board with him as we come up to the final few corners. What's the first race of the season? First race of the season will be Mexico starting next week. I'll tell you what, you'll definitely want to be tuned in. Mexico is always a fantastic Grand Prix to watch from a spectator's point of view. As we have Panda Man coming around the final corner here. It looks like he's definitely going to improve. That's going to be a mid 127s. That's a fantastic lap time there. He's put himself about half a second quicker than Guitar Man. So what can Guitar Man Khan do to respond here? He looks like he's on a warm-up lap. Taking a couple of them just to get himself settled, calm the nerves maybe a little bit. He's invalidated, but not to worry. See if Mark 7 or MK7 God coming down to the final few corners. He's going to be wanting to improve, get above that top 9th spot. Definitely not somewhere that the McLarens would normally be seeing themselves. Just a reminder, all the cars are equal. So obviously, this is purely on driver pace itself. He's going to come across the line. He's going to go up to 6th place. He's improved. That's fantastic. T. Silva also looking to improve as he comes round to the final few corners. Formation lap off. Okay, we'll definitely... There'll be no formation lap for this pre-season race, but it will be for round 1 next season. T De Silva is going to put himself on third with a 1:28.2. This is where it's going to come down to business, ladies and gents. This is where it's going to come down to business. Guitarman Khan is going to be starting his hot lap here. I'm going to stick on board with him, see what he can do, see if he can respond in the slightest to what Panda Man has laid down. That is half a second deficit he has got to pull off. He's going to be wanting to keep it clean, but get that power down just as much as he can. He had a bit of a wobble there out of turn 3 or turn 4. Panda Man's retired. He's in the pits. He's happy with the time he's set. But we'll keep an eye on Guitarman Khan here. He's going to be absolutely pushing that AlphaTauri as hard as he can to try and get himself on that provisional pole position with only a minute and a half left in this session. Here we go then. He's coming nice down that back straight into Cops. Will he keep it flat? He lays off a little bit, but he's done well to keep himself within the confines of the track. Let's over what time he is doing at the moment, so we will only see his lap time, and when he comes across that final line, looks like he might be going a little bit faster. He's done a green sector by the look of it. Just see how much he is going to be improving as he comes across the line. He has got 3 more turns just to keep himself balanced, keep himself composed. Count them down. So there's one more corner. Can he just come round this? Get himself on provisional pole? Not this time. Doesn't look like he can improve. That's unfortunate. He looks like he's going to go for a second lap. But definitely wanting and pushing that car as hard as he can. Anyone else that will be looking to improve at the moment? See who's close to coming round. Got a Ferrari about to come round. That will be Voice of Chris. Well, he's put that Ferrari a little bit higher. He's going in for a second or another hot lap. Final hot lap for him. I think anyone now that is not on a hot lap will not have time to get one in with the time required. There we go then. The checkered flag is out for qualifying. Only drivers on a hot lap will be able to complete one from this point forwards. Mark 7 just parking himself right on the apex there. Not going to be helpful for Sesso. I imagine if this was one of the rounds, that might have been a little nod to the steward's room there. Oh, looks like we just had a little bit of a freak out from Sesso's car. Not quite sure what happened there. We'll jump on board back down to 11th place. Monster. He's going to be wanting to get himself into the top 10 here. If not, it will be a tactical 11th place for Morney to start potentially on the medium tyre, run a little bit longer than those in front of him. Didn't see that Sesso has actually caught up as well. Guitar Man, who's knocked about 2/10 off his time, but it's not going to be enough to take pole. So Les Monster can get something out of his locker here, which would be an absolute incredible feat. He's kept it really clean. 6, 7. He's done a 1:27.6. He's put himself in the 3rd position for this qualifying session. That is fantastic by himself. He will be really, really proud of that. Don Ward doesn't improve. Mark 7 God, he has invalidated there. So it looks like just Sesso, and he's also gone into the pits as well. So that is it. That will round up our qualifying session here for the pre-season race at Silverstone. As we just wait for Sesso's car to get packed away in the pit lane there. Let me know in the comments who you're predicting for the victory. Let me know who you're supporting. It'll be great to hear from the people that we've got watching this race. So here we go then, breaking down the final standings for qualifying here. We've got Panda Man Gaming on pole position. Right behind him will be Light Sesso. Monster bringing 3rd place in that Alpine with a last-ditch effort. Absolutely fantastic by him. Guitar Man Khan coming 4th. And then lower down we have Voice of Chris, T De Silva, Don Moore, Gazmore Pam, Mark 7 God, and Tilmo bringing up the top 10. Lower down, we have got the Chaos Druid, Villeneuve, McBregan, PBE Vintage, Kevu, Splandy, Artistic Genius, and HDE Baguette, bringing up these 18 drivers that will be starting the race here in just a few minutes' time. So 4 drivers not choosing or not wanting to set a lap time here will be starting from those back for position. Oh, it's Kevo. My apologies, not Kevu. Just a reminder, if any of the drivers are in the chat, the formation lap is off. It is a straight to green situation. Panda Man is here. He always announces himself as he comes to join the chat. Always nice to see you, my friend. Good luck in the race. Yeah, as we wait for players to set up their strategies for the race, the predicted tyre strategies will appear on your screens probably within the first lap or two. But it's well known that it will probably be a one-stop race, soft to medium or medium to soft. Unless, of course, we see any safety cars or virtual safety cars. So here we go then. It is going to be 3, 4, 5 red lights on the grid here. And it is lights out and away we go. Everyone gets a fairly decent start. No major collisions. We're going to go nice and tight. So on. Sesso's going to go down the inside for turn 1. Panda runs wide. Comes back and makes a little bit of a collision. Everyone seems to have got through turn 1 fairly clean. Big collision there between McBrennan and Kevo. Bit of an unfortunate thing there. Just 2 drivers coming together. Kevo has definitely lost his wing. Light Sesso has come off really badly there at the start of turn 2 and 3. You've got a big spin heading into turn 3 there. Sesso has left the session, but we'll head back on board with our Leeds driver, Panda Man Gaming. He's got away quite well. Monster up into second place, who's got Guitar Man right on his tail. Voice of Chris just trying to hang on in there with the pack. We've got the 2 McLarens. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, as Voice of Don War spinning out there and crashing. That could lead to the first safety car. It's going to be a virtual safety car. Stewart's deciding that a full safety car currently not necessary. So virtual safety car drivers will have to reduce their pace to a set delta and not exceed that. No safety car out. That is purely on the drivers to regulate the pace by themselves. Whilst we've got this going on at the moment, we'll just check on position changes, who's done the best and who's done the worst. Baguette has gone up 8 positions from the start. She's gone up from 18th place to 10th. Absolutely fantastic start from her. There we go then. We got your predicted pit strategies on the board at the moment. It's going to be a one-stop change. And we've gone green. That is a very, very short virtual safety car indeed. We've got someone diving into the pits. That is McBurnan. I wonder if he's lost a bit of front wing there, but not to worry massively. Hop back on board. Hop back on. As I see Voice of Chris, is quite possibly my favourite. It looked like he had the glitch, but that might be a white helmet and me not being able to see properly. Everyone seems to be doing okay at the moment. We'll just check on tyres, see what people are on. So as thought, we've got quite a few in the backfield on the medium tyre who'll probably be trying to go long. Got 4 drivers in the pits changing tyres. McBregan going on to the soft tyre. I wonder if he's going to go for the 2-stop strategy here. Then everyone else appears to be going for the hard and going long. Field is separated just a little bit as we get this beautiful panoramic angle as they come down the old pit straight. Just a bit of separation, nothing too close. Villeneuve, I must admit, he's doing really well to keep up with the other drivers here. He's in a bit of a soft tyre sandwich, but doing well to keep up with the drivers in front of him who are on the softer compound tyre. Soft compounds here are probably looking to last you between 10 and 12 laps, and then you'll be going for the rest on the yellow-walled medium tyre. That is probably the pit strategy for those guys that are currently all in the top 10. We've got Sesso, who's gone past Baguette here. Baguette might be looking to make a lunge down the inside, but probably a little bit smart. Panda Man, our current leader, has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. Alstar's second-place Monster. Wow, that has just shifted the balance of the lead there. That could be really, really crucial. when it comes to the final stages of this race in about 23 laps time. Tito Silva, who heads into an early pit stop, has managed to pick himself up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunate for him there. Everyone else seems to be doing fairly well to keep it within inside those regulations. I'm going to hop back on board with Monster, who's going to be watching and trying to chase down the leader of the leader of Panda Man here. But Guitar Man is right on that rear wing of the Alpine. Going to be trying to stick as close to it. Doesn't necessarily have to make a move at any point here. Just has to play it smart. He doesn't have the penalty at the moment. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. That is a Red Bull off. And that's a Red Bull out. That's Gazprom out. Let's see if we can flick back and see what has happened there. It's going to be on the right-hand side of your screen. Similar to what Mark 7 Donmore did, actually. On that right-hand side, just spun out and caused himself a DNF. And we have got the second virtual safety car of this Grand Prix. We are 3 and a bit laps in. And we are on virtual safety car numero dos. So here we go then. Once again, drivers will be regulating their own speed, sticking to that set delta. And Panda Man will be trying to keep as low a delta as possible, trying to just push the extent as possible without getting a drive-through penalty. Because if you end up speeding under the virtual safety car, or your delta is positive when the virtual safety car ends, you will receive a drive-through penalty. So it's got to be really crucial that you stick within that set delta that is set by the game. We'll switch over to interval, so it's a little bit easier to see who's chasing who and where. It looks like currently the closest battle on track will be between Tilmo and Mark 7 God. I say that as Voice of Chris and Mark 7, I believe, both get a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. I mentioned it just a second ago that you don't want to be going above that delta, but they will now face that painfully long pit lane of Silverstone here, and they will just have to drive through penalty. That will not count towards their required pit stops or required tyre changes. You cannot change tyres on a drive-through. So that will be roughly 20-25 seconds that they will lose. And they will probably be looking to come out around 12th or 13th place. Qatar Mankan is still all over the rear wing of Monster, though. He's got the DRS. DRS obviously not reset under a virtual safety car, so it just comes straight back online. When, Monster tries to go around the outside there. He's not going to be successful. He's just got to sit back and kind of wait for an opportunity here. Voice of Chris going round Mark 7 God as Voice of Chris dives into the bits to serve that that drive-through penalty. Mark 7 God's got to be wary as well. He's got to serve his within 3 laps. Moore's just going to have a look down the inside here. I think he's going to be smarter, though. We got a yellow flag somewhere further back. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Looks like a McLaren's taken a spin out of the last turn. Mark 7 God, that's not going to be good for him. He's still got to serve that drive-through penalty. And he's now managed to find himself back down in 9th place. We'll jump back up. Maundy, he's going to have some DRS here as we come down the longer straight. Will he have enough just to make a move? I think he's going to be smart and play it safe. And indeed he does. Not worth risking it over something like that. Looks like Artistic Genius is already being lapped by one of the further back cars. Chaos Druid, he's had a bit of a spin coming out of turn 4 or 5. Just got to, I think tyres haven't necessarily overheated there. Just got to be a little bit careful. Monster seems to be dropping a bit further back here from Guitar Man Khan. Just got to bide his time. Not make any more silly mistakes. Not get any more penalties. And just hope that Guitar Man does get some with the rest of the laps remaining in this race. As we head further up, we've got Light Sesso, who's only about a second behind Tilmo. He's going to be wanting to catch up on his fellow driver. He's in a bit of an Aston Martin sandwich at the moment. He's going to want to try and overtake the Aston Martin in front of him, hopefully. He's within that 1 second delta now. He might just have enough to get some DRS down that second straight if he can keep it nice and clean through the start-finish straight. That is the closest battle that we currently have on track. Apart from potentially Voice of Chris, we've got a McLaren going slowly. He's got no front wing. I wonder if that's still potentially from that accident that happened out of the last turn. So he's going to want to go in for a new wing, but that will not count towards his drive-through penalty. So I think Mark 7 God might potentially be out of this race unless we get a little bit of a miracle safety car. I'll keep you updated on penalties as well. So the top 4 drivers all currently with 3 seconds of penalties. T De Silva and Artistic down at the bottom there, both with 5, and McBregan as well with a 3 second. Mark 7 God, he's got that drive-through, which he will have to serve next lap. You get 3 laps to serve a drive-through, and that will have to be served next lap. But we'll stick back on board. We'll go back up to Sesso, who's closing in on Tilmo. Artistic Genius, one of the back markers, although he may be ghosted, causing a little bit of trouble for Tilmo here. Maybe just a bit of a distraction in their eyes. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. That's further behind. I think that might just be Artistic going slow. So nothing to worry about. Tilmo has got DRS, so he's probably got the DRS from Artistic going through Maggots and Beckett's, and did well to hang on to the 4th place that he currently holds. Although Sesso is properly chomping at his rear wing. Guitarman Khan gets the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:30.4, and he will be trying to catch Monster, trying to cut down that nearly 3-second deficit as it currently stands. No, he'll be trying to cut down to Panda Man. My apologies. Like Sesso here, he's going to be looking for a run here as we come round to the first DRS zone of this circuit. Silverstone being the 3rd longest circuit on the track, on the calendar at the moment, just behind Spa and Baku, if I remember correctly. So definitely lots of overtaking opportunities and a lot of opportunities here for drivers to show what they have got in store. Sesso just not being able to make the move stick there. He's probably going to try and play it patient. Just bide his time, not make a silly move. He's going to go down the inside. He's going to stick a nose down the inside of Kops, just try and make it stick. Tilmo does well to back out there. He's going to try and play and come back, potentially into Maggots and Beckett's, or just follow the drivers through one by one. It's probably the more sensible thing to do. He does well, just backs out a little bit. Hope Sesso's going to make a mistake, and it will be Tilmo who gets the DRS here, coming up the old hanger straight. Will he go for a move? He's probably going to try and go down the outside here. Sesso forces him wide. Oh, good defending there by Light Sesso, hanging on to 4th position. Got Mark 7 God in the pit. He is serving his drive-through this time, as Chaos Druid picks up a 3-second penalty there for exceeding track limits. Quite easy to do here at Silverstone, especially on Cops and Turn 1 as well, when you're almost trying to play it flat out through those corners. As we see Tilmo, having a little bit of oversteer there. Does well to correct it though and keep that Aston Martin firmly planted onto the tarmac. Who have we got that's close by? We've got Voice of Chris, who's catching up to Chaos Druid. He's in a bit of an Alfa Romeo sandwich as well. A lot of drivers and teams doing well with their counteracts. I think Chaos Druid might have got past him earlier, as Mark 7 God picks up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings as well. That's unfortunate for him. So people of the chat, have we got an updated predictions for podiums here? Or are we sticking with original predictions? Let us know your comments and the thoughts. Let us know your comments in the comment section or in the chat feature. I'd love to see who we're still banking on. Guitarman Khan, though, as we come back on board with him, he's going to have no DRS here on Pandaman Gaming, but he's getting within that 1 second advantage. I wonder if Pandaman had a bit of a wobble through Maggots and Beckett's. Potentially those tyres dying off, but Guitarman, he's going to go for the undercut here. Going to probably go on to a set of medium tyres, hoping that they will work well on his outlaps. It's a long and slow and painful pit lane here at Silverstone. It feels like you're driving about 5 miles an hour when you've been driving these for 10 or so laps, as everyone behind him catches up by a few things. Tilmo's in AI mode. Not quite sure what's going on with him there, but we'll definitely keep an eye out. That allows Baguette to just dive down the inside, and potentially Mark 7 God, who's one of the back markers, he's going to try and unlap himself a little bit. There's some great battles going on. You are absolutely correct. We've got the pit strategies now going to be coming into play a little bit more. Guitar Man, who was in second place, coming out in a reasonable and respectable 8th place. It'll be interesting now to see how well he copes on those new medium tyres and how well he can run them in for the first lap. So 16 laps remaining here in the British Grand Prix here for pre-season. If you're just joining us, this is still the Prospects eRacing League pre-season for Tier 3 on PlayStation. And we've got some fantastic battles lining up. We've got pit strategy about to come into play. And we've also got some fantastic battles going on. Everyone's a bit separated at the moment, but it's going to be coming together probably in the next 5 or 6 laps. As we look on board here with Voice of Chris, he's on the softer tyre compared to Chaos Druid in front of him. If he can keep behind just through Magnus and Beckett's and keep that nose planted, he'll be doing well when he comes to the DRS zone that is at the end of this very, very tight and technical section. Panda Man has come into the pits. He's also going for the medium tyre, but that puts Maundy into the lead. So Monster takes the lead of the British Grand Prix, and Sesso is currently behind him, chasing down for that victory. So Guitar Man, where will that bring him out in compared to Panda Man? So Guitar Man coming round across the line now. Will he actually manage to get out ahead of the Red Bull? Will this undercut have worked more powerfully than he thought? As he comes round, he spins out, he's going to DNF! Will the gravel save him? Oh, I think the gravel just saved him enough there. Looks like no major damage to the AlphaTauri. But oh my gosh, that could have been interesting. The undercut almost was working perfectly. I think that was about 2 seconds that he caught up there. And Panda Man has had one heck of a lucky escape from being undercut by Guitar Man Khan there. Monster probably listening in on the comms now. He's going to be knowing that that undercut's going to be powerful. Probably will want to come in and pit at the end of this lap to avoid being undercut too much by Panda Man, who's just coming down the old pit straight now. Sesso has caught up about 2/10 on Monster just ahead of him. Does Maundy come into the pit? He does indeed. He's going to be putting those medium tyres on as well. Sesso comes in as well. Will Baguette come in, or is she going to come through and take the lead of the race? She's going to do exactly that. Come through for the lead as it currently stands. But we'll be on board watching with Panda Man Gaming here as he's coming through the final section of the track. Will he retake the lead of this Grand Prix, or have Maundy or Sesso done enough to keep him at bay? It looks like Panda Man's going to be comfortably back into the lead of this race once the others pit stop, of course. Yeah, he's through, and quite comfortably so. But it will be a good second place once the pit stops have all balanced out for Maundy. And Sesso obviously just behind him as well. So we'll go back on board with our current race leader, HDE Baguette, who's going to be just trying to pull away as much and gain as much an advantage as possible. Guitar Man Khan is out. That looks like a retirement in the pits. He's had enough after that spin. Not happy with himself. And will be taking an early shower, or potentially an early trip to the beautiful villages that surround this Silverstone circuit. Splandy, a new name here in Prospects eRacing League, is chasing down Baguette. He's on some used medium tyres here, but definitely gaining on the Aston Martin that is currently leading this race. They're going to be wanting to prove themselves, and they're definitely doing so by keeping themselves in that second position at the moment. Closest battle at the moment, Chaos Druid is just behind Sesso. Sesso obviously coming out after that pit stop on the fresher medium tyres, but it looks like Druids have run his in. He's going to get the DRS as you go down the hanger straight here. Probably a bit too far back to make a move, but you never know. Yeah, just a bit too far back this time to make a move. But definitely will be wanting to hang on to the coattails of Sesso just to keep in contention. Panda Man Gaming. Oh, he's taking a spin on the new medium tyres as well. He's done alright just to keep himself out of the barrier there. But turn one, again, taking another victim of new tyres. So Monster has put himself into net P1 here. So once all the pit stops are balanced out, probably in about 4 or 5 laps time, that will be Monster leading your British Grand Prix here in that Aston Martin car. Sesso is going to be doing everything that he can to try and shut him down in the remaining time that we have before all the pit stops, but I can't see it happening at the moment. Voice of Chris already on the back of Vintage again. Voice of Chris obviously on those new tyres compared to Vintage's fairly old hard tyres. I believe Vintage was one of the drivers at the start that had a bit of wing damage and decided to go long, but it doesn't appear to be working out for him. Chris doing well to go down the inside here. He's probably still going to get the DRS. He's probably gone past the activation point already, and exactly correct. Gets that DRS to be able to pull away even more. Here we go then. Page into the pits. Splandy, the new name, takes his place at the front of this British Grand Prix. Villeneuve coming through the final sector here. A bit off the pace, but definitely one to keep in contention, as Monster also comes through as well. He's going to be wanting to get out ahead of HDE Baguette, who's done their pit stop. And there we go, nice, easy pass. We'll check on from the leader at the moment. Some big gaps forming, so Mark 7 on God and Artistic Genius both have been lapped. And that is some pit stop information for you at the moment. Baguette gets out just behind Panda Man Gaming. Probably going to be a close battle here at the moment. Can Paige on those brand new medium tyres make them work for her as she tries to chase down Panda Man? She's got the DRS coming down the Hanger Straight, I believe that is. No, that's not Hanger Straight. I don't know what straight that is. That might be the Hanger Straight. Going around here towards the old pit lane or the old pit straight. She's catching up on time, doing really well here. But it looks like she'll be dropping just back a little bit, but definitely keeping herself in contention. We've got a yellow flag. That's to Silver, who's going to be retiring from this session. I believe that is in the pits as well. He's had enough. Maybe not. Let's try and see if we can get on board with Splandy here, our race leader. See if that is into the pit wall. That is not a retirement. That is a crash coming out of the last turn. So here we go then. This is going to change up the pit strategy massively. Monster, who should be net P1, he's going to be taking out. He's going to be going into P2 as it currently stands. Splandy here, he might have himself in a fairly good position if he can get under pits, but actually it looks like he's caught the safety car fairly early, and any advantage that he might have had with a pit stop under safety car doesn't look like it's going to work out. Villeneuve's gone in for some soft tyres. He's feeling it. He's going to go soft tyres to the end. Panda Man makes a second pit stop as well, also going on to soft. So does Chaos Druid, replacing the front wing as well. Maybe feeling a little bit of understeer on the car there, and just wanting to fix that at the same time. Paige probably will be regretting that decision. Maybe she'll go in for a set of softs here. She's got the time to be able to pit safely to Villeneuve behind her, and that soft tyre could be a massive advantage compared to some of the medium runners that will be going around. Kevo going on to the softs as well. There we go, Vintage as well, as I thought, would be coming in for some soft tyres. I'd assume you wouldn't want to be running the hard tyres at this point with only probably 10 laps of racing to go as McBregan comes out of the pits and bins it into the wall under the safety car. What a bit of an unusual collision there. Definitely not one that he'll be wanting to watch back on the replay, but definitely one that I will be watching again if I fancy a good smile at this race. So we're going to keep an eye on Splandy here, see what he does. As he's got the safety car pack behind him. Surely he's got to pit. Yeah, there we go. Mark 7 God. That might allow him to actually unlap himself. Yep, he's going to do that. So we will have Monster as first behind the safety car. Interesting that Monster doesn't pit. He probably had enough time to go in for another set of softs, but will be under pressure from Sesso, Baguette, and potentially Villeneuve as well on the soft tyres when they catch back up behind the safety car. So we'll have a quick look at position changes whilst we've got the safety car out at the moment. So HDE Baguette currently up 15 positions starting last in this Grand Prix and currently sitting third behind the safety car. I think that is almost guaranteed for driver of the day if she can manage to keep up this fantastic spectacle that we are watching at the moment. Everyone has done their required pit stop. Most, if not half the grid, have done two. Probably to go back onto a second set of soft tyres, and I think I would be too if I was currently a member of this pack. Mark 7 God will be the last driver to probably try and catch up with the safety car. He's probably not going to have enough time to catch up with the back of the pack, but who knows? If it's Michael Massey starting this race again, we might go racing now, so who knows? Looks like we're coming through mid-Sector 2. This is normally, towards the end of Sector 2, is normally when Race Control will announce the safety car in. So we'll keep an eye as they come across the timing line for the end of Sector 2. We'll hop on board with Monster. He's going to be eager and raring to go here when the safety car inevitably comes in. Only 3 drivers not caught up with the pack now. Looks like we're going to go for another lap, which is unfortunate, but will be helping those soft tyre runners. Yeah, one more lap, hopefully only one more lap, will be helping those soft tyre runners, just saving an extra lap for them. The medium guys might be considering, have they made the wrong choice here when it comes to tyre strategy? Did Panda bin it? Panda binned it, yep, he binned it at turn 1, roughly just after his pits, just after Guitar Man's pit stop. Probably a couple of laps after Guitar Man. So 1 and 2, who were running in this race, both binning it out of turn 1, potentially trying to take turn 1 flat when they probably shouldn't have yet. But that's what you get when you run quite a low downforce setup on this track here. You'll want the low downforce to be able to get that maximum top speed on the straights, but there is the risk you run when you are putting flat out corners like that. We've got Mark 7 in the pits. He's going to be wanting a set of soft tyres. But I think we'll just take a moment of appreciation for this Aston Martin safety car, which is probably my favourite one at the moment. Got a little... If anyone watched some of the commentary myself and Feldman did not last season, season before, we all know that this was the History Channel at some point. We loved our facts, and I'll hit you with one at the moment. So we all know that at the moment Baguette is currently up 15 positions in 3rd place. But the lowest grid position to ever finish on a podium here at Silverstone was the driver that started in 28th back in 1954. Marimon finished 3rd, having started 28th in a 30-car field. And as much as it may be a good achievement from Baguette here, I don't think that beats 25 positions gained. But then again, that was the 50s. Hopefully here, we're coming to the end of Sector 2. This should be the time that the safety car is announced to be coming in as we cross that timing line or the interval line. There we go. Race control. Safety car is in this lap. So we'll be wanting to heat up the tyres. We see a bit of weaving going on as we look back down the field. Before we get going, we'll have a quick look at penalties, just to keep an eye on who's going where. So we've got Tilmo and Pandaman both on 6. That could be impacting their race. Monster's going to have to try and pull a 3-second advantage here if he wants to hold on to his race lead. But we'll stick on board with him as he is the one controlling the pace. He probably won't go right until the last minute. He's going to want to make those medium tyres do as well for him as he can. There we go, full power. Once he's round this corner, that ERS boost is going to go on. He's got a really good jump on Sesso. Sesso has got a little bit caught out. That's half a second already. Going into turn 1. Who's going to have cold tyres and not realise it? Everyone seems to have got through there fairly clean. Get through the backfield. All nice and fairly clean. We'll go back up to the front with Monster. Sesto is right on that rear wing of the Alpine, wanting to try and make a bit of an advantage. He doesn't have to do anything stupid here. In the remaining 9 laps, he's just got to get past. He's just got to finish behind Monster within 3 seconds, and that penalty will do the business for him. Everyone seems to be doing fairly well. Splandy on the back of Tilmo here, making a look down the old pit straight. Maybe, maybe not. Remember, no DRS for the first 2 laps here, so it's all on ERS and straight sheer speed alone. Panda Man getting a bit of a wide run there out of Cops. Well held not to lose the back end, but here's a brand new softs. Splandy does indeed get past Tilmo as he comes into Maggots and Beckett's. That was a fantastic move by him. He's done well to probably be a bit brave as he dives down the inside. Panda Man's got a good run on Villeneuve here, burning up all the ERS. He's going to look down the inside if he can hold it. He's just going to back off. I don't think he wasn't close enough just on that occasion. Did well to back off to avoid a collision there. He's still looking. He's going to go around the out. He's going to round the... Ooh, bit of a corner cut there. And pushes Villeneuve wide. He's going to give the position back and potentially hold up Splandy at the same time. Tilmo's decided to take advantage and said goodbye to both of them as he goes past 2 in 1. Fantastic move by Tilmo there. Sesso, as we head back up. Oh, Panda Man's got past Tilmo again. This is going to be the battle that we're going to be keeping an eye on. As Tilmo looks down the inside of Panda Man again, has a bit of contact, but nothing serious comes of it. Chaos Druid also looking for a bit of a move. Bit of a corner cut there, but we'll completely ignore that in the situation. Splandy's going to be looking down the inside. He's got a bit of a run. He's on the softer tyre. How can he make it stick? Oh, he's a little bit of contact there, but we'll make it stick. Does well to hold the position. Chaos Druid as well, trying to go down the inside. Bit of contact, but held off well to retain 8th position and not spin indeed. Nothing really happening up at the front. We got a bit of a run by Kevo. Sesso's got a 3-second penalty here. That is going to change the dynamic of the lead here, because now Sesso will have to make a move past Monster in order to get the victory of this race. That really opens up the potential for Villeneuve to take the lead here, as he is currently sat on no penalties. Got Voice of Chris, Kevu and Chaos Druids all looking down the old, down the back straight, all fairly close together. Baguette gets herself another 3-second penalty, and that puts her up to 6. That potentially has lost her the podium for this race, which is unfortunate. And there we go. Monster comes across the line. We have got 7 laps left. Villeneuve sets the fastest lap, and Monster has got 7 laps to defend from the people behind him. Mark 7 God gets the fastest lap of the race. It's quite difficult to keep up with what's going on at the moment. A lot of things happening. Chaos Druid right on the back of Tilmo here, keeping an eye on the times of the interval between Sesso and Monster as well. If a move's made there, we will keep an eye. Panda Man gets himself another 3-second penalty. That's unfortunate for him, so that is him definitely out of podium contention here. Sesso getting ever and ever closer to Monster, but doesn't look like he's going to have the pace to get past him here. DRS obviously going to be active as they come out of Maggots and Beckett's, but Villeneuve definitely is closing in. You are correct, Equator. He is on the softer tyre. Panda Man just behind him, running wide again. He doesn't seem to have enough traction on the soft tyre here. I wonder if there's a little bit of an issue with his car. Sesso's going to have a really good run out of Maggots and Beckett's here. Down the old hangar, down the hangar straight rather. He's going to have the DRS. Morton's going to have to defend here. Sesso's going to go down the inside. Morton's going to let him past quite well, but going to come back at him round the outside. Sesso's going to do well just to hang on here, and I think Morton's trying to play the smart game as he retains the lead. Come back to Druid and Tilmo having a bit of contact here. It's as we have Kevo diving down the inside and spinning. That was a bit of a silly move, as we have someone else flying off as well. That looks like the Alfa Romeo of Chaos Druid getting himself caught up in the action there. Splandy gets the fastest lap of the race. Ooh, it's a lot to keep up with. Tilmo getting himself a 3-second penalty for track limits as well. Hop on back on board with Monster here as we come up to one of the DRS zones. This is where he'll probably want to try and get close. That red light flashing on Light Sesso's car means he is out of the ERS. Villeneuve and Page going at it. Page holding out round the outside. Does really well to defend there from Villeneuve. Monster's going to be seeing, but back on board with Monster here, he's going to be seeing that flashing red light of Sesso and know exactly what that means. Sesso is out of ERS, and I think Monster's going to make him pay for that. Back on board with Villeneuve, he's going to want to try and use the soft tyre to his advantage as he gets hopefully a run out of Magnussen Beckett's here into the DRS straight. I think Baguette might be in a little bit of trouble. If Villeneuve can keep it together, he's going to run a little bit wide. Not what he would have wanted. Monster, on the other hand, is going to fly past Sesso, who's lacking in ERS there. Does well. Going to dive back, see if Villeneuve's going to put one down the inside. Page leaves him room. Just rides the curve a little bit too much. Panda gets past Splandy on the outside. This is going to be an interesting final 5 laps. You do not want to look away. Villeneuve just hasn't made him over. Panda Man with another 3-second penalty. It is not going his way today, but he has now joined the battle of Baguette and Villeneuve. So we're going to watch from his perspective. This could be an interesting viewing from what he's going to be seeing in the Rebel Cup. But he's going to try and dive down the outside here into turn 3. Try and probably force his way through a little bit. Dives down the inside of Villeneuve there. Makes the move just stick, but holds him up enough. Splandy's just got past Villeneuve as well. There is now a 4-way battle for 3rd place. Monster keeping that advantage over Sesso at the moment. But we're going to go back on board. Panda Man just doesn't make it past Baguette this time. Splandy still holding off Villeneuve behind him. This 4-way battle is the one that's going to be bringing us to our conclusion in about 5 laps' time. Nothing really changing up in the front at the moment. Nothing really happening down in the midfield. But these 4 are going to be battling it out for that last remaining podium. Reminding that Splandy and Villeneuve both don't have penalties. So they're going to be wanting just to sit back and let the rest of them fight when they can just kind of sit there with no penalties and be quite happy. Obviously, this battle going to be helping the top 2 of Sesso and Monster. Speaking of the 2, Monster's light now flashing. He's going to be low on ERS. But it doesn't look like Sesso's going to make a move. Splandy goes around the outside of Baguette. Panda Man goes around the outside. Baguette dives down the inside and just clips the rear wing of Splandy in a bit of a silly dive there. But that will spin him out. He is down. He is out of that top 3 contention here. So, 3 drivers now. Splandy's been released. Will he have enough life left in those tyres to be able to go down and chase the top 2? Panda Man gets a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. I have a feeling a retirement's coming. There we go. Retirement from Panda Man. That you could see that one coming, unfortunately. But here we go. 3-way battle still for 3rd position. And Voice of Chris still about 4 seconds off, so I can't see him getting back into this. Sesso coming down the straight, trying to catch up with Monster, but I don't think it's going to be happening here. Bit of a gap forming for these 3 battling here. That's going to hopefully squander the time advantage that they were giving to the top 2 and allow Splandy to potentially catch up and get them. Villeneuve looking down the old pit straight. Sesso gets another penalty. That is going to be key for this leading race. We'll stick up the penalties. We'll keep an eye on there. We don't care about tyres anymore. We know where everybody is. But this penalties is what's going to do it. Splandy is currently in a position to get 1st position. He is currently net 1st place on penalties alone. So if Splandy gets a penalty, then we will have a Monster victory. But as it stands, it will be a Mercedes 1 and 3 by the look of it. Actually, no. Looks like Villeneuve might be able to take 3rd position here if he sticks with it. Speaking of which, Villeneuve is going to be looking to make a move down here, down the main straight, potentially into turn 1 and 2. Sesso jumping back up here. He's going to get very, very close to Monster. These 2 have been going at it like rabbits all race long. Monster cuts off early to defend, but he might not be able to do much when Sesso has the DRS and got his ERS on as well. It's a lot of straight line speed advantage. In a lot of straight line speed advantage when you have both of those together. Splandy now catching up. We got a yellow flag. That is Chaos Druid round and into the gravel. Unfortunately, that might be his points hopes gone. Actually, it might look like he might stick in the points. Just because of how far back Mark 7, God, and R6 Genius is. Go back on board with Villeneuve here. He's going to be wanting to try and get past Page as Kevo gets past Tilmo up into 7th place. We'll go back on board with Villeneuve. He's the one that's going to want to make it stick. He doesn't need to make a silly move here. He's currently sat with no penalties and will quite happily get past him. But Monster retakes the lead of this race with 3 laps to go, or 3 and a bit laps to go. Sesso still right on his tail as Villeneuve also gets past Page in the same straight as well. This is turning up to be quite an exciting race here. Sesso still looking on the back of Monster here. He's got 3 laps to hold him off. 3 more laps. It's whether drivers have also prepared for enough fuel. Bear in mind, we've had a lot of VSCs and safety cars, so probably a lot of drivers carrying extra weight in their cars that they shouldn't have to, or they should have burned off, but might have under-anticipated the amount of extra fuel they would have gained from those bonus safety cars. Where are we at the moment? So HE Baguette still lacking behind Villeneuve. She's got the DRS, but it doesn't look like she's got actually gaining much of an advantage. I wonder if Villeneuve's got quite a straight line of speed. Splandy, he's really caught himself up into this battle now and will be a contender for sure. And it'll be definitely something we'll want to watch from his perspective as this goes down. Here we go then. Got 2.5 laps left. Looks like Sesso's going to try and go around the outside. He's going to stick right on Monster's gearbox, coming through Maggots and Beckett's. This is not somewhere you want to be making a mistake, especially when you've got 2 Mercedes on your gearbox. Who would have thought it? The 2021 Mercedes being absolutely dominating in this field. Neither able to get past Monster at this current moment, as he does really well to defend. The red light on Sesso's car is flashing. That ERS probably running low, but Sesso probably in a position here should be letting his teammate go. If they were playing the team game here, that would be the thing he wants to do. It looks like Splandy has got much more ERS than the Mercedes in front of him. So if he lets him go, it could be better for Mercedes. But Sesso's still trying to push on and get something from the Alpine. I think Sesso wants the victory all for himself here. This is going to be the closest battle for the next 2 laps. Sesso's going to have that DRS wide open here, coming down the shorter of the 2 DRS straights. Makes a little bit of a move, but nothing's going to stick. He's just a bit too far back. And Monster doing really, really well there to defend. Mark 7 gets a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not quite sure what that's about, but not really bothered at the moment. Look at this close battle as they come through Cops down into Maggots and Beckett's. All on the gearbox of one another. Sesso's going to attack Maggots and Beckett's with a much tighter assault angle than Monster. Monster, a seasoned veteran here, knows what he's doing, knows what he wants to get out of this, and exactly where he wants to position that car for the longest straight here. Monster moving over to the left-hand side, probably trying to defend. He's got the red light flashing. That means he's low on ERS as well. But so is Sesso. Sesso's going to go down the inside. Monster does absolutely fantastic to place his car exactly where he needs to defend from the young Sesso driver. I think Splandy's quite content sitting there in third. Oh, he has a little bit of a kick out there from the rear. Cost him a little bit of time, but he's still going to be quite content sitting there with no penalties and knowing that he's probably going to win this race on penalties alone. Here we go then. 1 more lap remaining. My voice is really hurting, and my throat is dry. But Monster is doing really well to defend here from Light Sesso. Splandy sitting in 3rd position. You got Villeneuve down in 4th, who probably will take 3rd position as it currently stands. But that's not our concern. We are going to stick on board with Sesso and Monster, who have been going at it like rabbits for about 15 laps here. And they are just hanging on to the rear of each person's gearbox and not letting it go. We're coming down the old pit straight into Cops. There's one final opportunity to lose the back end here. Both of them do quite well, but gets another 3-second penalty. Both drivers, Monster and Sesso, really out of ERS here. We're going to hop on board with Splandy's POV. Just looking at both drivers coming through Cops. Mordy's going to position his car really well on the left-hand side of the track here to defend from Sesso, who's going to have the DRS for one final time. Monster's going to have to position his car really, really well, potentially with a late break here, round the outside to try and defend from Light Sesso. He's not going to make it stick this time, but I think he'll still get it on penalties. Going down the outside, he's looked to make a move, he's going to try and cut it back, he's going to go for the switchback. Got to be really careful on the curbs, but he's going to have to settle for winning it all, coming second on penalties. So there we go, Monster, Splandy gets the race victory. Monster in 2nd place, Villeneuve comes 3rd on penalties. Light Sesso sticks it into 4th, Baguette in 5th, as we get the rest of the lineup coming through. Got Voice of Chris in 5th place, Kevo, I should say, in 6th place, Baguette down into 7th with the penalties. Tilmo doing well in 8th place. We're going to have Vintage come across the line in 9th. Chaos Druid coming across the line to round up the points finishes here for Tier 3 pre-season. What an absolutely fantastic race to watch and commentate on. Here we go then. Splandy, driver of the day. I think coming down from one of the final positions there. And yeah, he's in the comment section saying didn't want to risk anything with the overtake. An absolutely smart move by you there. You knew that you didn't need to do anything. You were winning it on penalties, and a very good tactical game from yourself. Wow, that's been a fascinating race to commentate on. And to everyone in the chat, thank you for coming along and watching that with me, joining with me. It's been a pleasure to be here this afternoon. I've been T-Mouse, and that was the Prospects eRacing League Tier 3 pre-season. So until next time, I'll see you later.